Oh man, we got some review to talk about. Let's just not waste any time. Let's get right into it. What is up, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back to another edition of The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. You know what time it is. It is time to review the NFL action, which is NFL week number 14. And man, oh man, is the NFL season quickly coming to a close. And there are, well, at least one playoff spot has been solidified. Many more playoff spots will be solidified within the coming weeks. But without further ado, we have that and so much more to talk about. So let's start the show. Welcome back. Welcome back to another edition of The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. You know what time it is. It is time to review the NFL action, which is NFL week number 14. Hi, how's it going? I am Jacob Cutler, one half of the sports guys. Almost slipped up again. I am Jacob Cutler, one half of the sports guys. And joining me, as always, the other half of the sports guys. He's here to break down the NFL action with me. He is Mr. None Other than Mr. Brandon Sullivan. Brandon, how you doing? How was your week?
Another successful weekend. So as we march towards the playoffs, December football is always the best. So we got a lot of action to cover, but super stoked with the results for both of us this weekend.
Yeah, you know, it was hot and heavy. It was a great week. It was a great week of football. Some of us got some help. Some of us didn't really get so much help, so we had to keep competing. But nevertheless, was a very exciting week in the NFL, and it was a bit of a shocking week, I guess you could say, in the NFL with some good things, some bad things, and just some downright ugly things. And I know for a fact one of Brandon's favorite ugly things, and I know we're going to talk about it, but because it was the score of his one and only preseason game. But we'll get into it. Let's quickly remind people how we did last week. Let's put it up on the screen. For yourself, a little bit of an off week, but that's okay. You've been killing it the entire time. 6-9, 0-1 on your guaranteed victory. The Dolphins lose in an absolute thriller on Monday night. Will Levis, right? The Tennessee Titans marching down the field, getting that game-winning score to stun the New York Giants. And then for myself, 8-7, 0-1 on my guaranteed victory, because it'll be the one and only time I ever rely on the Houston Texans again. Never putting my faith, never guaranteeing a victory for the Houston Texans again. The one time I thought I was safe, not at all. Houston Texans letting me down. Overall for the season, that puts us at, for yourself, 132 and 76, 11-3 on your guaranteed victories. For myself, 122 and 86, 10-4 on my guaranteed victories. And then for our special guests, 52, 38, 3-3 on their guaranteed victories. Nice and easy. Let's wipe those off the screen. Let's get into it. Brandon, hit me with your good from week 14.
Yeah, I mean, I got to start off, by saying, Justin Fields and the Bears, looking really, really good. Just a big win against Detroit. I don't think a lot of people expected that. I definitely didn't. But, the Bears, looking good. So that's a surprise and good for them. Also, Jake Browning, this guy is building his resume and
Definitely
making his money as we speak. Someone's going to pick him up in the off season. As soon as Joey comes back, obviously Jake Browning is going to have a home somewhere else. And let's hope it's not like a Matt Flynn situation, but he'll go somewhere, and it looks like he's going to play. He's going to be able to help another team out. So, but right now he's helping out the Bengals and trying to get them to the playoffs. So, Big game for the Cincinnati Bengals and Jake Browning, 34-14 victory against the Indianapolis Colts. I was very surprised they won by 20 points and blew them out. So that was huge. Not going to touch on them because I can't stand that guy. And then obviously, Zach Wilson and the New York Jets turning things around.
Z Willie.
30-6 against Houston, the team you guaranteed a victory on. Mistake. That's what life is built of. We learn from our mistakes, right? And then obviously the San Francisco 49ers, a dominating performance against the Seattle Seahawks, a couple of mistakes, a fumble by Ayuk and then a missed route by Ayuk. I'm not going to put that on Purdy, but
yeah,
San Francisco 49ers should have had more points. And a big victory for them and Kyle Shanahan. I don't know if you saw the article. He said, he'll give a Christmas gift for anybody who gets under DK Metcalf's skin.
There we go.
And did Fred Warner got under your guy on your squad's team. I mean, you gotta
okay,
you gotta
watch that mouth of yours. Watch that mouth of yours.
28-16, 5 straight victories, and 1 unfollow from the Seahawks from DK Metcalf. He's no longer following the Seahawks. They said 5 straight victories and an unfollow on Instagram from DK Metcalf to his Seattle Seahawks. So who knows what's going to happen there. But 5 straight wins. Purdy remains undefeated. Anybody who said that Brock Purdy is a game manager, go watch that game. I mean, this guy is coming back from a torn UCL. He hasn't even played a full season. Or has played now just a full season. He's, Brock Purdy is not a game manager. He's a game changer.
Real deal.
Bombing the ball to Deebo Samuel, making throws on the run to Ayuk, just looking like the missing piece. And obviously Will Levis looking good. I guess he's earned it instead of Levi's. Big boy looks like he could be a linebacker.
Definitely.
And Danny DeVito. 24-22 big game-winning drive against the Green Bay Packers. Last but not least, the Cowboys.
Your Cowboys.
Here we go.
Your Cowboys, dude.
Dakota. 33-13. The 49ers fans will tell you this is the only game we've ever rooted for the Cowboys in, and we needed them to come through to even out that record. This gives the San Francisco 49ers the number 1 seed in the NFC. The future fate is in our hands at this point.
True. That is true. I mean, what a week. Yeah, what a week for Niners fans, kind of getting everything that they could possibly want. With Dallas pulling off the victory there against the Philadelphia Eagles. Man, what a week of football. I mean, some good that I saw. The Patriots, Billy Zappi, doing something that hasn't been done since 2018, which is throw 3 first-half touchdowns. Bailey Zappi. I know I said Billy. Bailey Zappi. I mean, New England Patriots. Man, oh man, the 3-10 New England Patriots, the eliminated from the playoffs New England Patriots. Man, good job for Bailey Zappi doing something that hasn't been done since Tom Brady's been there. But what a stinker of a Thursday night matchup we got to open up our weekend. What else good did we see? The Bucks, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, somehow, some way, keeping the NFC South, just a horrible division, but getting a victory there, moving into first place, now sitting at 6-7. Every team in the NFC South now has a losing record. Just terrible. I don't know why we can't have 1 year where every division has a winning record. I feel like at one season it's either the AFC East or the AFC East, or it's the NFC East, or it's the NFC South or AFC South. Those four are the ones that rotate with the worst divisions in football. I know the NFC West at a time, right? The Rams got in with a losing record. or the Seahawks got in with the losing record, actually, I believe, right? I think it was the Seahawks.
Yeah.
And then they, So, I mean, it happens. You get into the playoffs sometimes, losing it with the losing record. But it'd be nice if every division was competitive in some aspect. The Chicago Bears, 1,000% are better with Justin Fields on the field. And there's no pun intended there. But man, oh man, does this guy actually make the team look decent, make them competitive? Anybody else back there? Yeah, you just got the normal Chicago Bears lackluster. The Bengals, I mean, stomping Gardner Minshew, right? The last time Jake Browning and Gardner Minshew got together was the Apple Cup, Washington versus Washington State. Jake Browning getting the better of Gardner Minshew again. So Jake Browning has Gardner Minshew's number. The Bengals, when you don't try to do 1,000 things on offense, you actually have a great offensive game plan, which is just run the ball, and then you do the little screens, you throw it to the guys who are open when they are open, and you got people making plays, right? Chase Brown, the rookie, coming out of nowhere, being a great backup to Joe Mixon. You have Tanner Hudson getting his first NFL touchdown after being on 4 NFL teams last week. So the Bengals spreading the ball around, Jake Brown and looking solid, and the Bengals getting the playoffs. I mean, Joey B can definitely come back, so we'll see what happens there. Very interesting, making it very interesting coming down the stretch. I think it was 8. I think it was, I don't remember the exact stat, but I believe 6 or 7 teams are 8-5 or 7-6. So very interesting. It's going to be very competitive coming down to the end. Your Cleveland Browns, your favorite quarterback, Joe Flacco, getting the job done there in Cleveland.
Okay. I got it. I'm not going South. I'm going Delta United. It's over for you, man. You might as well just pack your things. You're gonna have to go to the hospital. It's you're in trouble. You're in trouble after that.
Should I get a bag?
Yeah, get a bag packed. You're probably gonna have to have a speech to type software. You hands, just everything's in trouble. So
Joe Flacco making his stake for the Hall of Fame. Unbelievably. We'll see what happens there. Cleveland Browns somehow staying relevant there in the AFC North. Joe Flacco somehow, some way keeping the Dukies afloat. And then on the other side, we'll get into it into our bad. What other good did I see? Like you said, the Jets not having a 300-yard passer, and I think for the first time all season. What do you know? Z Willie, the guy who actually you guys drafted to actually be the quarterback of the team, can actually play quarterback. So you go figure, right? Zach Wilson has the best performance of his year, probably of his career, honestly. And the New York Jets stomp the Houston Texans. The Ravens, I mean, it was a great game. Back and forth, went into overtime. The Ravens somehow, some way avoided a behind the back, blocking in the back penalty there on the punt return to get the victory. Refs, I mean, most consistently inconsistent thing in the NFL. But the Ravens getting the job done there. Now moving into the number 1 seed with the Dolphins loss. And then last few, the Niners getting the job done. Not much needs to be said. Most complete team in the NFL. Brock Purdy, easily number 1 candidate for the MVP at this point. Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey. I mean, Juwan Jennings, the weapons that this team has, unstoppable. The defense that this team has, lights out. So San Francisco 49ers, easily most complete team. Randy Gregory getting in the sack party this week. Chase Young forcing that interception by Drew Lock. So Niners are dangerous. I would not want to play the Niners in the playoffs. And if Brock Purdy can stay healthy, I mean, there's really, I don't know who's going to stop this team on their way to the Super Bowl. So we'll see what happens there. The Buffalo Bills. Oh, man, do I have a lot to say on the ugly side as far as the other team. But the Buffalo Bills holding strong. The Buffalo defense coming out and playing tough, getting the job done there on the road. Hopefully sending Kansas City on the way to their first road playoff win, or first road playoff game under Patrick Mahomes. And then last couple, the Denver Broncos. Holy moly, what is going on right now? Wow, talk about the hottest team in football. The Denver Broncos are on fire. Now, one game out of the AFC West. I can't believe that's possible. I can't believe they actually have a chance at winning, at stealing the AFC West from the Chiefs. It's not going to happen, but they have a chance. They certainly have a chance. So we'll see what happens there. Russell Wilson playing like the Russell of old, Sean Payton, doing what Sean Payton was hired to do, which is coach this team to victories. That's exactly what he's doing. The Denver Broncos, hottest team, and they are a team that you do not want to see play in the playoffs. You kind of hope the Denver Broncos do not make the playoffs with how they're playing right now. Cowboys, like you said, getting a massive victory. They're at home against the Eagles, sending the Eagles now to the 3 seed, right? Yeah, sending the Eagles now to the 3 seed from 1 to 3.
No, 5 seed.
5, right? Yeah, you're right. Because they're no longer. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Excuse me. Let me just wipe that off. Let's rewind. From the 1 seed to the 5 seed. Just like that, baby. 1 seed to 5. Just like that. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Feels good, doesn't it, Philly? Doesn't it, Nick? Hey, Nick Sirianni, you still yelling at Chiefs fans? I don't think so. Shut up next time. The Tennessee Titans, like we said in the opening, played great, played phenomenally, played with heart, got a big victory, stunning victory against the Miami Dolphins. And then last but not least, Mr. Tommy DeVito. Tommy DeVito, hey! And yeah, his brother's really name is Danny DeVito. Hilarious. His parents, great. Legends, right? Holding an entire feast for people outside of the game there on Monday night. But Tommy DeVito, man, heart, love it. The kid has got heart. He's got moxie. He's got guts. Saquon Barkley, sure as hell, plays 1,000 times better under Tommy DeVito than he does under Daniel Jones. I'll say that. The receivers play better. Everybody seems to be playing better under Tommy DeVito. Is Tommy DeVito the new starter of the Giants? Of course not. But he's doing what a backup should do, which is come in, be serviceable, get the job done when you can, and look good while you're doing it. Tommy DeVito becoming a unsung hero of the 2023-2024 NFL season. Bad, what do you got for me?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't too much bad this week. I think there was a lot of mediocrity, obviously. Houston didn't look good, but Stroud got hurt, so that wasn't really too bad. Obviously, the one that I really wanted to hone in on was 3-0. I mean, my goodness gracious. I looked at the score here in the fourth quarter, and it was 0-0, and I was like, what is happening here? I mean, it's just such a defensive game, but then I think, man, the offenses on both sides of the football are terrible. It was just who was going to get a field goal at some point. It was who was going to score at some point. And, give credit to both defenses. Both defenses played lights out, but at the same time, those offenses are just terrible. So did the defenses really play lights out, or were the offenses really terrible?
Good point.
3-0. I just Nick Mullins, it doesn't matter. No, just the Vikings are awful. The Raiders are rebuilding, so they don't really have an excuse, but the Vikings, yeah, I mean, I'm saying they got a little bit, there's a little bit of exclamation there. They're kind of rebuilding. They have an interim head coach. The Vikings don't have their quarterback, but still 3 points.
Sure.
Even if we lost our quarterback, I'm just saying, like, we would still be able to, with a different quarterback,
be able to score
more than 3 points. Yeah, so that was bad/ugly. That game, and then obviously Patrick Mahomes. I mean, come on, man! Like, I just never expected
some more.
After the refs gifted him a Super Bowl. I didn't think that he would say. And as soon as it doesn't go his way,
as soon
as it doesn't go his way, he is just, the part that I found offensive was when you go to congratulate, you don't congratulate Josh Allen. You complain about the call after a game.
Yeah.
Could you imagine Jalen Hurts would have done that?
That was the tweet I saw. Yep. Agreed. Completely agree.
So, I mean, that was, I mean, and then obviously LA Chargers, trash, Brandon Staley, garbage, gotta go. I don't know how you're still employed. Go back to Division 3 football or whatever you were doing.
Herbert done
Get
for
the
the
hell
year.
off the Chargers. Get off the Chargers.
Yep.
Fire Staley. I mean, the guy looks like an arrogant, pompous prick. Fire him. And then you got the last one. And then you got the last one. Sirianni. I mean, you know what I mean? I got Sirianni out in Philadelphia. I got Sirianni. Yeah, I got to get the Eagles. They suck. So here's the thing. They were a fluke. They were a gimmick. And now they ran into a buzzsaw. Yep. And they don't know what to do. I don't know what's going to happen with the last 4 games, but I do anticipate they're probably going to lose 2 of them. So Philadelphia Eagles, frauds. Fraud alert. Fraud alert.
It's called the San Francisco 49er effect. Just think back for me real fast. Think back at all the teams that were rolling, coming in to play the San Francisco 49ers, run in to the buzzsaw that is the San Francisco 49ers, and then go on this losing stretch, right? The Cowboys, right? We thought the Cowboys were done after they lost to the Niners. They started to fall apart. Dakota Prescott, I was like, okay, there it is. He's exposed. Now coming back MVP form. Same thing with the Eagles. Boom, buzzsaw, right? Figured out. Didn't look amazing against the Bills. Should have lost that game. Definitely. Jags, right? Yeah, well, I think the Jags won the next game. I believe they Seahawks. I mean, Seahawks have been in a buzzsaw all year. But yeah, I mean, just teams running into the Niners. They're stopping any momentum that they have Miami. Going in, right? Exactly. Yeah. Any team running into the Niners at this point, stopping the momentum. So it works out good. Hopefully it works out for me in a couple of weeks when they play the Ravens. But yeah, any team that right now currently plays the San Francisco 49ers, your momentum gets stopped, right? So the Philadelphia Eagles, momentum stopped. We'll see what happens. Eagles, yeah. I mean, I've been definitely saying it, but the Eagles, yeah, they do not look like the Eagles last year are better than the Eagles this year. I'll say that. And the Eagles added a ton of pieces in the offseason this year to better that team, but I still prefer the last year's team over this year's team. What other bad/ugly did we see? Justin Herbert done for the season. Chargers done for the season. We can just eliminate them from the playoffs. They're done. So I'll save him for last. He deserves more. Raiders, yeah, I mean, ugly, right? The Josh Dobbs experiment over, done with, on to Nick Mullins. We'll see what happens there. Justin Jefferson, likely done for the season after getting absolutely pulverized by the Raider defender there on that just very, very vulnerable pass and catch there in the Niners or in the Raiders Vikings game. The Texans, everybody's injured for the Texans at the worst time, unfortunately for them. Got to get the injury straightened out. Now CJ Stroud with a concussion. Man, bad time for the injury bug to be biting the Houston Texans. The Jaguars. The Jags cannot keep dropping games. I respect your heart, Trevor Lawrence. I love the grit, the grind that you are putting yourself through. No, I cannot imagine how your ankle feels, but man, oh man, dropping a game to Joe Flacco in his 80th year in the NFL. I mean, come on, bro. That's ridiculous. Last two. I mean, come on, potential fraud. We got a potential fraud alert with the Detroit Lions. What is going on here? What's happening? What is happening here? You should not be dropping games to the Chicago Bears. I don't care who is that quarterback. You are a much superior team. You should not be dropping games to the Chicago Bears. Figure it out, Detroit. Potential fraud alert has now been placed on the Detroit Lions. Potential fraud alert has now been placed on the Miami Dolphins. Potential fraud alert has now been placed on the Jacksonville Jaguars. We got a few teams on potential fraud alert. The last but not least, oh yeah, we're digging into him because Mr. Hey guys, every time that we get a call, I don't say anything, but every time that I think I should get a call, I just whine, bitch, and moan, say how they're ruining a Hall of Fame career. Just shut Shut up. Shut up, Pat. What reality are you living in? What are you living in? What have you not been watching the last 3 years? The NFL has been throat gobbling you for the last 3 seasons, my friend. How about we just look back at last year? How about we just look about how you got into that Super Bowl game? The little late hit out of bounds call that saved your ass. How about we just look back at the Super Bowl? The holding call. Oh, but you didn't have anything to say about that? You didn't have anything to say about the holding call,
About the holding call with the Niners, with Bosa, that whole game.
Exactly.
Where they got the pass to Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, doesn't have anything to say about that, right? Now, what I will say is Mr. Tom Brady. I didn't like Tom as a player, but Mr. Tom Brady never, maybe not never, but there is a soundbite. True. I never saw him, but that doesn't mean that it's not a soundbite. But there is a soundbite out there of people asking him how he feels about the refs, and he is said that he has gotten plenty of calls in the past. It's a hard job. They're not always going to get it right.
But he doesn't. He never heard him like.
It's true.
Playing after a game saying, "How
Agreed.
could you do that?"
Agreed. And even the one time that they gave him a chance to do that, he took the higher road and he admitted that, you know what? I've gotten some calls in my career that I'm sure I shouldn't have gotten. It's a hard job. Yep. They have a hard job to do. They're not always going to get it right. You know, instead you have a guy going in there being like, "Oh, I still think they should add this play to Travis Kelce's highlight reel because it was just that good. It's just that amazing. Oh my God, I'm Patrick Mahomes. I get everything handed to me. I was placed on the Kansas City Chiefs team that was very good. I don't really do anything. I just get gifted everything by the NFL." Kermit the Frog, shut the hell up, bro. Nobody wants to hear it. Nobody wants to hear it from you and the Walrus. Okay, so both of you take your shit, shut up, and enjoy, hopefully, your first road playoff game, which would be phenomenal if you also
You might
lost.
not even get there. You might get bounced in the first.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You
might not play a road playoff game still. You might lose because if they win the division, I'm just saying, and they lose, there's still no road playoff game.
That's true. And if they lose the division, with how competitive this playoffs is, who knows? They could easily be on the outside looking in. They could easily be one of the first teams out. They could be one of the first 4 teams out. So it's going to be very interesting. Patrick Mahomes, and just a bad look. Very bad look for the golden boy of the NFL to be coming out and just be spouting blasphemy, basically. Like, it's a correct call. The dude's everybody's call. That's what, like, bro, what are we talking about?
He's entitled.
Like, it's just bad. It's very bad. Very, very bad. So somebody needs to sit him down. I love the Twitter threads that just show every single call that has gone the Chiefs' way. It's phenomenal. Keep it going. Send them all to Patrick Mahomes so he can just watch them and understand how gifted he has been while he's been in the NFL. But other than that, I mean, Kermit the Frog, shut the hell up. Andy Reid, shut the hell up, play the game, and move on. Enough with your nonsense. Every team gets screwed by the refs. What do you guys think? Welcome to the club. Welcome to the NFL, Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome to the NFL. That'll do it. That will do it for this edition of The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. Man, we're done with week 14. We are on to week 15, and what a season it has been, and it's only set to get better. Brandon, any last words for the people?
Let's just hope we have another good week for us both, setting up to be. So, I'm excited. We got some special games this weekend, so We'll get into that now.
Yeah, we're on to week 15. We're on to our NFL weekly picks. It is going down. We are done with the review. Week 14 is gone, done in the past. Adios and hola to week 14. It's going down. We are moving on, and man, oh man, I believe we have some Saturday football coming at you this week. Man, oh man, what a season. What a season. That's going to do it for this edition of The Good and the Bad, the Ugly. I am Jacob Cutler, one half of the Sports Guys. He is the other half of the Sports Guys, Mr. Brandon Sullivan. And, of course, as always, Brandon and Jake, we're out.